Hey Ubers! How you doing? Well, I'm just down in the studio working on a few paintings just to try and get something resolved. I've been thinking a lot today about how much I've grown over this year, and my question to you is, how much do you think you've grown in terms of your development of your art practice? Do you feel that this year you've actually done a lot, or have you been too busy with work and life and things to actually be able to dedicate enough focused time to your art? Because, you know, not everyone is as fortunate enough as me to be able to have a lot of time to actually create. You know, I understand a lot of you have to work, you know, like a normal, regular job. So, you know, those sort of things play, you know, a role in how much you actually get done and how productive you are. But, you know, how do you think you've gone over this year? And did you set any goals for yourself? You know, I look at my work this year and, you know, I'm quite prolific in the works that I turn out. I guess once you get a technique down, you can sort of, things become easier and easier and you get into a rhythm and so forth. And, you know, I have so much artwork here now I can hardly move. And maybe I should just do a big Francis Bacon and just burn it all. But, you know, reading this book about Francis Bacon, The Gilded Gutter Life of Francis Bacon, you know, it makes me really question a lot of things about art. And, you know, he was so unsatisfied with most of his works, probably 90%. You know, what do you consider good art and what's bad art? I mean, if I look at all the works that I've created over the last 3 years, I could probably count on one hand the works that I thought were good enough, that I thought were really good representations of my development in each of its stages. And you know, we can't all produce great works with every single work. It just doesn't work like that. Unless you're Leonardo da Vinci or, you know, someone like that. But how do you think you've gone over the last year with your development? Do you think you've actually made like progress, or are you pretty much spinning in the same circle, just not really getting anywhere? As you know, with me, I like to work in different mediums and I'm constantly changing around. You know, I'll paint until I get tired of it, and then I'll, you know, move on to assemblage, etc, etc. But I think next year I'm going to go back to more figurative type works. And I think I'm going to like mix it up with my stencils, but I'm going to change the imagery around a bit. I'm going to develop my symbology a bit more, a bit deeper, create some characters for a series, and see how I go. As you know, I'm juxtaposed between abstraction and I don't know, surrealism or figurative, I guess it could be classified as. But I sort of want to bring back a more painterly feel into my work, a painterly element. Whereas, you know, I've been the last, I don't know, year, I pretty much rely heavily on stencils and a lot of my textural techniques. But I'd sort of like to, yeah, bring it back to a more painterly style. So I was really inspired today because I received an email from one of my students that has taken one of my online classes. And what inspired me was the artwork that she sent me that she'd created from learning my techniques, my layering, that sort of thing. And, you know, it blows me away because, you know, I don't have a degree, I don't have a background in teaching. You know, I'm just sharing my passion for art and sharing my knowledge, and you know, it's amazing to see how my teaching actually gets artists to actually create awesome, amazing artworks. Like, it's, you know, it's incredible. And I'm going to show you a photo of Ingrid's artwork, because it blew me away. It was like, oh my god. And she was like, you know, thanking me for, you know, she's learned so much over this last year because of my techniques and stuff. But you know what, yeah, you know, the techniques, that's, you know, that's the easy bit, really. But it's how you apply those techniques to create artwork. You know, you can learn as many techniques as you like, but still, you know, not turn anything out. But hopefully, you know, my courses have sort of haven't been too difficult, and I think my teaching the way I explain things is pretty straightforward and pretty easy to understand. And you know, I've seen so many amazing results from people that have taken my online courses. You know, I get emails all the time. People keep on sending me work that they're creating after the classes, and you know what, I'm just blown away. It just astounds me. And you know, yay! I know I love to teach, and you know, that's a big passion in my life. And you know, I want to travel the world and teach workshops and teach my techniques, and you know, that's a big goal for me. And next year, you know, who knows what I'm going to be doing. My aim is to take on some workshops and see what happens. Also, my book, well, my texture and layering techniques book is not actually going to be out now, because I haven't got it together. I'm up to 80 pages, and you know, I keep on getting these ideas for these techniques and other tips and hints, because it's not just going to be a book about techniques. It's going to be a book about, basically, it's like my version of a Bible for artists, about mixed media techniques, about little tips about making, you know, all different types of stuff. Little golden rules that I've come up with. I've come up with this bunch of golden rules about painting and drawing, and you know, like for example, when you're drawing, what you do to one side, do something different to the other, you know, or you break it up into fours, and then each, like if you're doing like a flower, you paint each petal, or paint it or draw it slightly different so it's not repetitive, so that creates more interest with your eye. You know, I've come up with all of these golden rules. They're all going into this book, as well as artists that I think are fantastic for people that are starting out but don't, you know, when I started out, I didn't really want to learn about getting into artists' lives and stuff. I was flat out trying to work out what I wanted to do as an artist. And you know, you read, when you're at school you learn about different artists, but I don't know, you sort of are more interested in what you're doing in a lot of ways. So I'm going to outline a few artists which I think are really important artists to at least be aware of. Like example, Jim Dine for drawing. So the books are going to be coming out next year now. And I'm going to try and find a publisher, because I was going to self-publish, but you know, I've been told by so many people, don't do that, you know, etc, etc. So I'm still putting the book together, but I'm going to try and find a publisher who will actually take it over and see the potential in it. And I'm going to make an accompanying DVD with it of all the techniques. So yay! Alright, raved on. I'm going to end by showing you quickly what I've been working on, and that's about it. And I'll talk to you soon. Later.